Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Today I've got back on the channel Aness Taj. He's now the WBC Middle East champion. Yeah, his current record is 11 wins, 5 defeats, 6 big wins by KO. Yeah, how are you doing, Aness? Been a little bit of a while, but pleasure having you back on as always.
It's been a while. It's good to be on. I'm glad you've been messaging me just to put it out for your people as well. You've been messaging me, and we've been trying to get it arranged. And just obviously life comes in the way as well. And
Yeah.
bloody early, I was on a couple of jobs, and I'm like, I've got to have this. I've got to remember Sam. I've got to remember Sam. And you rung me at 9:30. You're like, Niece, are we good? And I was like, oh shit, I as well. And I was like, yeah, give me half an hour. So I'm happy. I can get on again and have a catch up again as always. How you been though?
Yeah, mate, I've been, keeping busy doing the interviews. All good, all good.
Doing very well, mate. I'm enjoying it.
That's good, mate. Yeah, well, what's sort of the word to explain this year for you in boxing terms? Bit of it's top. We'll get on to the big win, in a minute. But up until then, what? Because you were meant to originally be on the top tier show in Feb. What? Can you explain what's been going on?
It's been a topsy turvy year. Obviously, we did the full camp for the top tier show. We had Pavel Harivnak, a Czech guy. I think he did the WBC Grand Prix as well. Afterwards at heavyweight, I had him set for a 10 rounder. We were trying to make it for a WBC Silver International title because he was the current, or he was the WBC Youth Champion. Um, so we did everything. We even, fair play to Johnny Clark. And I feel I was pissed off and annoyed that I couldn't have the fight. Um, you know, we done all the promos, done everything. I trained like a madman. I was fit for 12 rounds. Um, then I had a little spot on my cheek, on my chin, sorry, and I was like having a shave, and I was thinking, and I was like, you know what, that's annoying me, but I can't get the germaline on it, the antiseptic. So I thought, let me shave it all. And what I did is, as I shaved, I then went over with the same razor again. And what I didn't realize is it wasn't just a normal spot; it was an infected spot. So it gave me an infection all over my face. So I had to call off that because I got eye infection and all this. And the doctors said it actually come about from me making weight. So where I hadn't made weight in about 2 years, the first time making weight was an issue. My body wasn't sure how to react. So we had that, which was annoying, but we take it in our stride. Look, it's life. You can never guarantee tomorrow, let alone, guarantee walking into the ring for a fight. Then we were supposed to fight for a WBC Silver Asian title in Bangladesh in May. And
Mm.
the opponent come up with some bullshit story that was at the height of the Pakistan-India tensions. I have to highlight that.
Yeah.
And it was we were trying to, much like a boy I manage with Vote, we manage Awais Hussain. He went out
Yeah.
Indian.
Was
And
that the same show?
it was the same show. It was supposed to be the same show. And what happened is we wanted to make it a love, not hate. Divided by countries but brought together by sport. We were trying to make it a bigger thing, where it
Mm.
might be two differing nations. Once upon a time we're all the same people. We speak the same bloody language. Just,
Yeah.
so we're trying to do something like that. But then what the guy did is he obviously I've got people over in where he's from in Punjab, India, that are linked in boxing, that I'm helping out and stuff like that. And I had someone ring me in the morning of when the guy pulled out saying, Aness, brother, uh, don't be surprised if he pulls out with you in the fight. Don't book anything. I booked everything yesterday, and I left it last minute to book all the flights, the hotels, everything, because I didn't want to get what essentially happened. I didn't want that to happen. Um, the guy messaged me that morning, his manager, with a fake, I want to say fake, but it was a pretty dodgy looking doctor's note saying that he's had a sprained wrist and the way for him to recover is for bed rest for 2 days, and his wrist will be fine. So it was a load of bollocks. I know the way the system works back in Pakistan, India. You can pay for a doctor's note, and the doctor will write it. If they're getting a bit of money, they'll happily do it. Here is checks and balances are a lot more. If the doctor can't see an issue, he's not going to write you a note. There,
Mm.
they see the money signs, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll write you your note." And that cost me about 3 grand. What that guy did, uh, and then they were trying to make that fight for Dubai, because the matchmaker of the show was a friend of that guy. I said, "Look, we can make that rematch." And I said, "You know what? He's cost me 3 grand. He ain't getting anything.
Yeah, you ain't giving him that opportunity
He's not.
again.
He's not getting an opportunity to fight me for a title." Um, and they go, "No, no, no, look, no, that there was a mistake." I go, "I don't care. Like, I have to book my own flights. So if I've
Yeah,
booked my
yeah.
and I've lost money, I go, it's the same if a promoter loses money. They're not gonna look at that guy again. They're gonna say, you know what, he's on our bad books." So I was like, no. Then we had July 27th booked with the WBC in Turkey again to fight for the WBC Middle Eastern title.
Was that the same guy from India?
No, we were getting someone else, but we got booked on the show. So what I thought I'd have a week or two off from training, and then get back into training and aim towards July 27th, in a little town in Turkey. Oh, I'll say a little town, a big city in Turkey, and then about a week after we'd set that up, and a week after my fight fell through with the Indian guy, I broke my leg. I broke my ankle. So it's been up and down. The doctors told me I wouldn't be running for 3 months, and I broke it in the end of May. So they said, you're looking at end of August, you will start walking properly and running. And I said, oh, I'm a fighter. So they're like, yeah, you're not going to box until the end of the year. I go, okay. Challenge accepted.
Hmm. And so how did that fight for the belt you've got now, the WBC belt come about with probably a better opponent than the original opponents that you had. He was 12-2 himself. Not a bad fighter, Wagdy,
And
Anita.
yeah, no, he was actually a strong guy. Uh, the WBC and me are working very closely with the WBC anyway. From when I boxed as an amateur in the WBC amateur setup, there's been a lot of respect between myself and the WBC, and there's been a few working relationships. Got some stuff has gone on where people have come to me to manage them, and I've found out some stuff that you know they've done things to people that are part of the WBC. Disrespectful in terms of the way they've treated them a little bit. So I've sidelined people. I've could have, if I was greedy, I could have tried to say, "Ah, forget about that." But I value my relationship with people I've already got friendships with. Uh,
Mm,
for a couple of quid, I'm not going to turn around and disrespect someone that I'm very good with because some guy wants I can make a couple of quid off and forget that. So the WBC, we spoke and I said, look, let's try and get this title. They said, look, we'll find you an opponent, we'll find you a show, we'll put it on. And I said, let's do it. Then they come back. We were trying to get it in Madrid originally,
yeah.
on the 20th of September. They found the opponent for me. All of us thought, give me 1 second, bro. Let me just, where's mute? Give me 1 sec, mute. Sorry, little one's bath time, and Mrs. just wanted just wanted his towel. Um,
No, it's all good, mate. It's all good.
so as I was saying, we were supposed to get it in Madrid. We had everything set up in just a little town outside of Madrid. A very nice show, um, all set up, everything all done. Opponent set, but we couldn't get him a visa. So we had contacts in every bloody embassy in the world, Spanish embassies. The one that we needed was the United Arab Emirates embassy for Spain. And we had no one in there. So then when the WBC and me we were speaking, and they said, look, what about if we put it on in Dubai? It might be a bit more expensive for you to come out. So I said, look, I'll cover myself coming. And they said it might be a bit. I go, look, if you can get me on that show, the grassroots show with Jamie Cormack. Shout out to Jamie and the boys over there. I said, look, if you get me on that show, let's do it. So they said, look, we'll put it on, we'll get it on, we'll get it sorted. The opponent was happy. He wanted it the week later or something, and the WBC said, look, September 20th, take it or leave it. If you want it, you got it. If you don't, we'll find someone else. And I think the opportunity was too big. I think the way you look at it is, and the way everyone looks at it up until that point was, I'm a winnable fight. Anyone who wanted to fight me is an easy fight. It's a winnable fight.
What, due to some of your previous fights in the last few years where you've been on
Yeah,
the wrong end of
yeah.
the
So like you
result?
look at the Vidal Riley fights, which when the Indian looked at it, he thought bloody this. And the word that come out to me was the guy's a hard nut that hits hard. That's all they knew. I was a brawler that can punch and could take a punch. Fair enough. But then when they look at the robbery decision I had, the stupid decision I had against that Polish guy, and I think, oh, he could be beaten though. So it's like, you know what? That's fine. Take your pick. Let's try it. Let's have it. So that's why that guy took it. The guy from Egypt, and when we had it, it was a brilliant show. It was like you were. It's deemed small hall essentially for like what it might be, what you might think, but the venue was brilliant, mate. It
It
was.
looked brilliant on the stream when I was watching it. It
Uh,
looked good.
it was like, I'll tell you what, it reminded me, or of like of a Sky Sports show.
Mm.
But they pumped money into it. They'd done a lot, smoke screens, the what's it called? The way the entrance was, the music, everything. Just
It
the
was
whole.
set up properly.
It was set up very nicely. And I've got to give ratings to Jamie and the team. The way they're doing it, um, you enjoy it. I was like, you know what? I don't mind going out there again and fighting because it's a different level. But then the added atmosphere to it was I'm fighting for a Middle Eastern belt in the Middle East. So like just added to the whole occasion.
I mean, it makes it better you fighting for the Middle East belt in the Middle East, whether having it if it was in Spain, it's not
Yeah,
the Middle East. If you had it in the UK, it wouldn't Middle East. So it made more sense for you to go and win that WBC Middle East in the Middle East
exactly.
against a very lively opponent as well, very good opponent. Talk us through the fight.
So just before we go through the fight, the guy
Yeah,
he'd boxed is 2 fights before me. He'd boxed Ilanga Makabu. Now Makabu, we know as a WBC world champ until he lost to Badu Jack.
yeah.
Or he lost to Badu Jack. He lost to a friend of mine, Noel McCallion, um,
Who beat Badu Jack, didn't he?
who beat Badu Jack, yeah, recently. And I thought he won the first fight in Saudi when I was over there with him.
Oh
But
yeah, you were, weren't you?
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt. Can you just talk? Did you get any yourself? Did you get any sparring out in Saudi?
no, we went out there for training because we were going for. I couldn't miss it because of training with my coach. Me and Kieran were out there with Razor as well, Ali. Um, we were out there because we both had fights coming up. So we couldn't miss. So we were trying to get sparring wherever we could, but there was no one around that wanted to spar. The closest sparring we could get set was in Dubai, which was about I think it was a 2 hour flight. But me and Kieran, we couldn't take the time away from Noel helping him prepare for the fight. You
But
know,
yeah,
taking the line away from. And I said I don't want to do that. Let's just take it as a warm weather training camp in
and
45.
it's a good opportunity to go out there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I had a good chat in the WBC over there um, with Mauricio Suleiman and the team. So it was good, and it was brushing up a couple of people who knew me anyway. It's brushing up. It's good to rub shoulders. Everyone remembers who you are. If you
Yeah.
if you don't show up to shows, it's a thing a lot of pros don't realise. If you don't show up to the shows, you're easily forgotten. If you go to
Mm.
people remember, oh, you know what, that boxer, For myself, it's a bit different because I've made relationship with everyone. It's like, oh, Aness, how you doing? You here with Noel? Oh, etc. etc.
Mm.
So yeah, so the opponent he was tough, and he'd knocked out. I think it was 11 of 12. He'd knocked out, and his stoppage to Makabu. I'd watched the whole fight. He went at Makabu. Not many people go at Makabu and get away with it, right? He went at him, and he was successful for about 2 rounds. But what happened is he put too much effort into it, and in the third round, Makabu dropped him with a body shot. Nothing else. It weren't like he hurt him with a body shot, then put him down, and he couldn't get up because he'd done himself in from just
Do you think he was tired from the first two?
yeah. That's what happened, and you give someone like Makabu that opportunity, he's going to take it.
Definitely.
So the thing we knew is the guy was live and game, and he'd come to win because him fighting me is a winnable fight for him. A hard fight, but winnable. Same for myself. It's a hard fight, but winnable, right? But then you have the issue where who's going to come out with what differences, what changes. Now, everything that could be seen on me, I made sure that my fights against Phil Williams, that was the directly last fight. I
Yeah.
took it. I took it offline because I know the improvements that I've made as well. But then all the stuff that we'd done in the year from that fight to it was about 10 months from the Phil Williams fight in November to September of the following year.
Yeah.
We'd made so many improvements that no one had seen. We'd been through 3 training camps essentially to get to that fight. So the improvements were massive. And they were watching fights, the Vidal Riley fights. Now, that's not me. If I go into a Vidal Riley fight now, for example, or if me now fights the guy that went to the Vidal Riley fight, if I fought myself, I'd batter the shit out of myself.
Mm.
Because but it's all learning, it's all experience, and you're grateful for everything. And the guy come out, he was tough. And at first I was like, let's see what happens. Hit him a couple of times. Um, then I was getting a little bit lackadaisical as well. I thought, okay, but I knew he was dangerous. Then he hit me with a left hook. And I was like, oh, fuck me, this guy's got a bit of power.
What round was that one?
First round, he hit me.
First. Yeah.
First, he hit me with a left hook, and I was like, oh shit, okay, he's got power. Then I thought, now you can't fuck around because there's a reason this guy's knocked 11 out. So I was like, bang. I'm like, oh, okay.
So
Luck
it sort of woke you up a little bit in a way.
up. Then I dropped him.
Yeah.
He was complaining to back of the head. He kept dropping his head, kept trying to roll the punches. I hit him to the side of the ear, which was legal. Legal shot, not illegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
As he's dipped down, he's gone to all right, fair enough. But he kept dipping his head. But everyone knows I like to throw a right hook. He knew that as well. So they were watching out for the right hook. But we had a little plan. Me and Kieran, we'd set it up that when fourth round came, and we've gone through the rounds, we're picking him off, we're picking him apart, and we're doing quite well. He landed a couple of shots here and there, which you got to give him. He weren't there to lie down, and the thing that I like is that he didn't come to lie down. Because if I beat him in the first round and dropped him, no one will realise how tough of a guy he is. Because after that fight, no one wants to touch him. Still, because they know he can have a hard fight, and he had a good chin on him. But it's that thing where fourth round came, and that's by then I'd read him. I'd got all the, you got everything in the mind. I knew the movements he's making. I touched him with a little jab, and he poured his hand out. He did that again. I was like, he's going to do that again because he did it a couple of times. So then
Do you feel like slowly and slowly you were sort of seeing what he was doing?
yeah,
Because you knew he was tough. When you dropped him early doors, you knew he wouldn't, you've got to stay alert. You've got to stay
oh, yeah.
patient with your fundamentals.
He caught me in the second round. He caught me again, and it was a brushing shot. But again, it's that. And then I went back to the corner, and Kieran goes, Aness, I'm always down, direct with Kieran. I'm like, look, he'll say, does this guy hit hard? And it's not a bravado thing. Oh, he fucking does he fuck. In sparring, we do it. Fights, we do it. Aness, does he? Nah. He goes to me, Aness, does he hit hard? First thing is, and Kieran laughed afterwards because we could. He goes, oh, first time I've asked you, and you go, fuck me, he hits. You don't expect, at 91 kilos, you don't, in my eyes, everyone else sparred hasn't hit as hard as him. Fucking hit,
Mm.
fuck me, this guy's got a bit of power.
Was he? Would you say he's one of the hardest hitters you faced then?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what I had to be switched on with it. I couldn't turn off. If I turned off, I think there was one point in the fourth where we've gone into a little bit of a ruck, and in close, and I've gone with a right hand, but I've telegraphed it a little bit. He's caught me with a little left hook, where my legs dip a little bit, and I was trying to roll it because I thought he was going to throw, and it's like it hit me, and I was like, you know what, I can't take them too often. I've got a good chin, I know that, but you can't let yourself take shots, especially ones that you can't see, because they are what do you. So then, yeah, dropped him, and then the guy he still got up. It was a heavy knockdown in the fourth. He got up, but then he didn't want to. He didn't want to be there. He spat his gum shield out, and the referee didn't see the gum shield out. I did, and fuck him. Not my problem. You spit your gum shield out. That's it. He was like his corner was shouting, the guy gum shield, gum shield. The
Yeah.
referee,
If the ref don't see it, the ref don't see it, isn't
the
it?
ref, the ref said to me, if I don't, if anything comes out, if I call it, you stop. If I don't call it, you carry on until I see it. No problems. You don't have to tell me twice. So when he told me that in the change room, I go, thank you, ref. Yes, sir. I'll abide by your rules. The
Yeah.
guy gum shield out. I kept smacking him,
Yeah. Well,
and
it's
then
not even, taking advantage. What the ref says goes at the end of the day, even
so
if you
um,
disagree with what he's saying, it goes, doesn't it, at the end of the
yeah.
day?
So they tried to argue at the end with the ref as well. They tried to put a complaint in about rabbit punches as well. WBC said that there was no rabbit punches. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
he didn't want to be hit on the back of the head, right? If any of the shots come, and he made a video compilation, and I got to give him respect. He made a video compilation of shots that he's rolling like that, and the shots going over the back of the head.
Yeah, but sometimes when you roll, it's sometimes you will get the odd shot, won't it? Because it's just in the motion. You're going to throw a hook. He's obviously sort of
Roll,
dipped on.
yeah, and he done it to me as well. You don't see me come running back. It's like all right, whatever, but
It happens, doesn't it?
it happens, and at the end of the day, um, it was a tough fight, and it was a good fight, and
And it's a brilliant. It's probably your best win today, and you've come away with not only a stoppage but a nice shiny belt with it.
let's see if I can do this. How do I do this? More. Uh, how do I? No, okay. How do I take the blur off? I'm trying to figure that out now.
Hang on.
Let's see. Like yeah.
Blue, two blue corners. So there's two blue dots. So go on. Hang on. I might be able to do it here.
Did it earlier, and here dots.
Blue dots, and then it should say blur my background, and there's a tick. Click that, and then it should be able to.
Let's see. Okay, no. I don't know. It's starting to annoy me now. Right, let me do it this way. Let me try and do it this way. I was gonna. Right. Don't know if it's gonna show. Let's.
There we go. I can see it, mate. There we go.
So it's a beautiful belt, and to be fair, I see some of the international type belts that are around, like the WBA international or WBA Asian, and they look plain and they look small. And then when I saw this, when obviously on the weigh-in they had it there, or
For the
they
pictures.
and the WBC supervisor she showed me, and I was like, you know what, it looks like a big belt. You got Don Jose Sulaiman, the original, the founder of the WBC, Mauricio's dad, Muhammad Ali on the other side. So it's a bloody nice belt, and it's very thick. So when I
It's
saw it,
good.
you know, I've got to get this. This is going to be mine. So walking away from it, uh,
First title as well, isn't it?
yeah, your first title. So it was big. I've had people say to me, "Oh, what's the comparison in the UK?" And I thought, I'm not bothered about that. It's a title that I'm eligible for. If I can fight for a title, I will fight for it. It's a regional title. It's similar. I'm not saying it's on the same level, but it's a regional title. It's like the Asian title. It's like the European title. It's like the Americas title. It's a regional title. This was going towards rankings in the world. The
Yeah.
only
So,
was for me that with the WBC, they had a lot of movements that I just missed getting into the top 40.
I mean I mean even winning that Middle East WBC that could maybe even put you in a maybe a chance for maybe a WBC silver title.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It opens me up for everything because the original thing was the IBF said I couldn't fight for an Asia title because I hadn't had an 8 rounder, hadn't won an 8 rounder. The WBC, we worked on a few things and they said we'll do it over 8 rounds. But you got to fight, and they said, but you've got to fight the person we're going to say. All right, no problems.
Yeah.
So then, look, it come my father, my family. They thought the WBC were sort of tucking me in because this guy just boxed, obviously, Elanga for the WBC Africa title. Maybe they're trying to build him up for a bigger fight. That's what my father was looking at. My dad was saying that he's tough.
There's no easy fight, from your opponents that you originally had. Not saying they were easy because they were difficult and tricky in their own difficult ways, but this one was,
Yeah,
maybe even 5 times better than the original opponents you had.
exactly. And it just makes it all the more sweeter walking away with it.
And it makes you more prouder that you've beat a good fighter, a good name who's boxed at
Yeah.
very high level,
Yeah.
and you've said that you've beaten him. What's has have you been sort of s- what's next for you? Are you gonna make a defense of that title
So
or go
we were,
for another Middle
we were
Eastern title?
looking at a WBC Asia, either at cruiserweight or bridgerweight. Um, the cruiserweight one has just been fought for and won by Peng Chi. I think I'm saying that correctly. I don't know, and I apologize for my mispronunciation uh, of China. Um, so we'll see. We're trying to see if that's something that might come up. It's a winnable fight again.
Is that a little? Would you say that's a little step up for the belt you've already had? That little next step on the ladder? Would you
It's
say?
no, it's the same. The Middle East, the Asia, it's regional titles. It's essentially like winning a Commonwealth and winning a European.
Yeah, yeah.
The
But
only,
is that belt that you're the guy you just mentioned? Is that 10 or another 8 rounder for
no,
the belt?
that's a 10. That's a 10 at minimum.
That's 10. That one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I would say the Middle East is a bit like the Commonwealth because there's not very few, but there's fewer countries that can fight for it. Whereas the Asia title includes all of the Middle East and the Far East, so China, Japan, the Philippines, parts of Russia, Mongolia, to Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, all of the stans, all, all that region. So
Yeah, yeah.
you got a lot bigger pool that can fight for it. So obviously it's a harder belt. So um, what we're looking at if we can work it out, working with the WBC again on that. If we can get it to work, we were looking at February um, the 13th in Dubai again.
Is that same venue, same promotion?
Same promotion. I'm not sure on the venue. We were speaking about it. There might be changing the venue. So look, if it works. But the thing that I've said is it's got to work for us. It's got to work for me, for Kieran, um,
Yeah.
on a whole. I was supposed to be fighting in Germany on the 29th of November.
That was it because quite a few of the UK fighters I know Jack Hughes, Razor Ali as well. I think he was meant to be on it. Quite a few of you were going over.
We were supposed to be on there because it's Kieran trains
Freddie.
So Freddie was running the show. So it's Freddie's friend who's a promoter. Him and Freddie were doing the show, and I said, "Look, let's jump on. Let's go for the WB." Me and Ali, we were supposed to be boxing for WBC Asia titles on that show. We had it all set up.
Are you Razor's manager as well?
No. Kieran is his manager, but me and Kieran are like one. So I said, look, if I can help with anything, I think he's now signed with Kieran, working alongside, what's it called, Bobby and Alfie of
Yeah, WBM. Yeah, yeah.
again. So, but I've said, look, if there's anything that I can help with as well, I will. I will always help any of Kieran's guys with my contacts, because me and Kieran, we're family. There's no difference. So, there's been times where Kieran's asked me to try and help something out, and it's been done. Do you know what I mean? And there's times where I've asked Kieran, and it's been done. So yeah. So we were supposed to fight in November, but I ended up doing my hands in the fight against Wagdy.
Oh, what? So have you broke your hand?
Luckily, touchwood, never broke my hand, but I sprained. I don't want to say it's a sprain, but I hurt my wrist basically from punching him. So, so he had a bloody solid head.
Yeah.
So we come out. I took a week off from training. Me and Kieran spoke. We said, look, take a week off and see where you are. So I went back in, but my wrists weren't 100%.
Mm.
Then we'll take another week. Took another week, and the hand still wasn't. I couldn't throw full power. Then we had to call it then, because we couldn't take another week off and try and train for a 10-rounder. When that happened, I was still going to be going over and helping corner a couple of the boys over in Germany with
Yeah,
Kieran.
yeah.
And then the whole show, because Freddie
Got ill.
he got ill, and they couldn't do it because
So would you fight on the rescheduled show in January, or
we,
is it too
we
soon?
we're trying to see what happens. I was happy that it all went through as it did, because my little one was born. So I had a baby boy born November the 2nd. He was born at 32 weeks. So they say full time is 40 weeks now. So he was born roughly about 8 weeks early, 7 to 8 weeks early.
Congratulations, by the way, mate.
Thank you. So I'm happy it didn't go ahead. I was still going to go over and help Kieran, but from the week that I was originally supposed to be going for, when the little one come, it was going to be, I was flying out on Saturday morning, coming home Sunday morning. And that's, didn't want to spend too much time away from the little one.
Yeah.
So with the way everything's gone, I was happy that, we might have got a fight in December the 13th as well. There was an option there. But everything happens. Now we're looking at if we could make February happen, February 13th. I'm trying my best to make it happen, because then from February 17th we've got Ramadan, so I will not fight.
Oh yeah. Because are you trying to get a fight before Ramadan?
I'm trying. I'm working. I'm doing my best to work on it. We've got options in the UK, but abroad as well. So
we could see you potentially fight back here in the UK. Would you go look at the Southern area level, or would you say you're above that? And also, I am going to mention it. John Hedges picked up the English title against Ellis Zorro. Did you see that? Would you fight John Hedges for the English?
No.
No.
Just for the fact that and I don't mean it in any disrespectful way. The English, there's not much there in terms of it's I don't know how to say it without being. Look, I'll be honest. It doesn't really tickle my fancy.
You don't want to go down that sort of English road.
The southern area, I'm past that. The English level.
Yeah, because your opponent who you fought for the Middle East belts above southern area level.
Yeah.
Way above. A few levels anyway.
Yeah. So if we look at the English, John Edges is very good. We boxed together on a show in Milan in 2016 when he was a junior and I was a senior.
Was that amateurs? Yeah.
And amateurs, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I've known he's been good since then. So um, at 6'6", awkward southpaw, it's a hard fight. For not, I'm not being disrespectful for a shit belt. It's not a British belt. If it was a British, okay, ooh, yeah, mate, no, I could do him. Of course, the same way. I think Zora did really well, and I think he got
Would it
on.
have to be for maybe a Commonwealth that would?
Yeah, it might entice me then if it's a Commonwealth. But we got to see what the plans are, what happens. Because obviously I don't think I've got much longer left in boxing myself in terms of fighting.
Yeah,
Not because I don't want it, just because you got to look at the whole thing in front of you. Um I'm doing I do better than in boxing. I make more money outside of boxing than in boxing.
yeah.
Whether management, whether that's fighting. Um, so there's a time where you've got to realise I've done what I could do. Can I get more? I want personally. I want to go and get the WBC Asia, whether it's at bridgeweight or whether it's at cruiserweight. That will give me a top 20 ranking in the world, and that could
Which
then
is big.
we could start pushing for WBC internationals, which will then give you a top 10 ranking, which will then get you in talks for a possible world title fight, which is big. Whether
Especially at Bridgerweight, it's quite open.
at Bridgerweight, a WBC Asia gets you in line in the top 10. So then you win a WBC Asia Bridgerweight, and you could start talking about possibly having a world title fight. So that's what we're looking at. Um, Personally, I want to go for that. I want to do that, but it's all about how everything works out. It's we plan and God plans. So
Definitely.
we hopefully I get back in and we can do something. If not, look, I'm happy with what I've done so far.
Yeah,
I've got projects coming. I've got a couple of big things coming that I'll make an announcement when I've got stuff sorted. Do a little video, but I've got some big things coming where I'll be transitioning as well from boxing only to from fighting only to doing a bit of coaching as well. Going for my trainer's license, and I've got other stuff going on where we've got to move with the times as well. I've got a lot of knowledge to give to people as well. I've seen a lot, been through a lot. Boxed in Mexico, boxed abroad in Italy, in Spain, in Pakistan, across Asia, Dubai, stuff like that. So it's like got a lot of experiences to give and a lot of knowledge to give. So happy to be getting into the training side of things as well. So, but hopefully get another couple of fights in,
definitely.
knock a couple of more people out, and get titles.
Yes, 100% get more straps to add to your collection.
That's,
And just before I let you go, I just want to give a mention to I know someone that you're very close to, Inot Baluta.
yeah,
Have you got any plans that you can sort of mention with him?
big fight in February. Um, on a Queensbury show. Uh, so that's already given away too much. I can't say who it is,
Yeah, yeah. But
but
we'll wait until that
yeah,
confirmation.
but hopefully, oh, sorry, but hopefully we should have some news. We agreed to everything last Thursday, so been grafting for Baluta, trying to get him on any show I can get him. Me and the boys, we were trying to put him out everywhere. He was still the WBO European title, the champion. WBO I've queried that with the WBO because I know he lost to Peter McGrail. The belt was not on the line, but the WBO in the past have done it where if you lose at that weight, the title becomes vacant, even if you're not defending it.
Was
So
that when he beat Brad Strand for that
he
belt?
Brad Strand for that belt. So now we're seeing what might happen. Um, we've agreed a fight, so hopefully we get a belt on the line. or even if we get that WBO European belt being defended by Beluta, I'd be very happy.
Is
Uh,
that over here, this fight, without giving too much away?
it's in Liverpool. It's in Liverpool.
I
So
mean, without saying too much, he does like fighting someone from Liverpool. I mean, he's fought a couple of them.
yeah, he does. He does. I think he's boxed the whole gym. I think he's boxed Everton Red.
Grand, Kane, McGrail.
Yeah. I think he's boxed all their super bantams, if I remember correctly.
He's
So
got quite a good record against them lot as well, hasn't he?
yeah, he does. So I can't say whether the guy is from Liverpool himself or not, who is fighting.
Yeah, yeah.
We were wanting a Brad Strand rematch, so watch that space if that happens as well. But it's again, if Beluta this next fight Beluta wins, he's back on the show. Um, we needed him to get a win because then it makes him more of in a more enticing fight for people. Coming
Yeah.
off the loss, he can't really fight for titles because his world ranking isn't high enough. So that then limits where we could put him because people don't want to put him on a fight because he's a hard bloody fight. Um, you know, for low reward if it's not a title. If it's a title, it's high risk, high reward because you're winning a title. So it's February 7th. We've got him in. We're just waiting for everything to be confirmed. Got to get the contracts all over the line. We've agreed in principle for everything. So he's over here at the moment. That's when I went up with him the other day just to confirm everything. We had a proper good old meeting, and then just got to get everything done. And then I think he's flying back to Malaga on Boxing Day to then continue his training back with his coach over there.
Yeah. So then, it's looking good as always in these. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you want to shout out anyone quickly?
I want to shout out all of our guys. I want to shout out my three business partners: Dan Francis, Joe Yerrell, and Latif Mohammed at Vote Boxing. All the work they're putting in for our boxers as well as me. We're all working hard for our boys, and I want to shout out all the boxers that we manage, and any boxer that's a friend of mine or anyone that I might help. Give a shout out. Everyone, keep doing what you're doing. Let's go.
Yes, mate. And from me, big thank you for your time as always. And yeah, good luck next year with all your fighters and your future fights as well next year.
Thank,
Thank you for your time.
thank you. We'll catch up soon.
Of course, mate. Bye.
Nice one.